I'm pissed off again, Sheldon. I'm pissed off. It's just back to basic things, I think. It's just back to the usual things. It's just RCB things. I don't know why they keep doing this to us fans and just giving their fans this constant heartbreak. And but then there's that hope. There's that hope that comes along in that one odd game when they win. And then it just goes back to the usual things here, right? But welcome back, guys, to another episode of Boundary Line Podcast with Dillon Pink here. I've got Sheldon Dougherty with me, and going to discuss this run feast of a match here between CSK and RCB. And CSK ending up there winning the match there by 8 runs. Close game, but again, not so close. And we live to fight another day, like all RCB fans. Sheldon, do you want to take us through the game there and explain what happened? Because honestly, I'm a bit annoyed right now to go ahead with this because I would just share my genuine frustration, and this is going to be like another rant. So I don't want that to happen. So please take it away.
Dill. I really don't know what to say, Dill. I'm lost for words. I'm not that angry. I'm just sad right now with how the performance went, and it's just that typical RCB performance, Dill, where they're shit at times, and then they give you hope, and then they lose it at the end. And of course, it has to come to the last over. Of course, they have that outside chance of winning towards the end. But Dill, yet again at the Chinnaswamy, more heartbreak and more sadness for us RCB fans, though.
Yeah, I think this ground doesn't have a good record for RCB, I feel, right? I think this is one of the worst records for a home team. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure if this had to be like Mumbai's ground or CSK's ground, they would still have the same record. I'm just guessing, right? But let us know in the comment section, guys, what do you think if if this had to be CSK's ground or MI or KKR's ground, would they still have the same record? I wouldn't know. But in the end, they're just giving a recap of what happened. CSK was put into bat first. RCB won the toss, and CSK just went berserk there. Devon Conway scoring 83 of 45, Sheldon. Just went madness there. And Dube, I wonder which team he used to play for a few years ago. Anyhow, we'll come to that later. But Dube scored 52 of 27. They smoked it around the ground. They went monstrous, two monstrous 100-meter six there that he hit, and then helped CSK to get to 226 for six. Yeah. If you thought the last game was bad, where then when they played here and they got like 216 LSG, then think again, because this game was just out of this world there. And I felt the bowlers just had another usual day at the office. I should say, not a bad day. I should say they just had a normal day at the office there. And in the end, RCB there, along with Maxwell and Faf, who just gave hope to all us fans there that yes, they can get over the line. But then once they fell, that it was game over for RCB, right?
Yeah, Dil. And I want to start on the RCB bowlers again. I know we've talked about them many times, Dylan, in many podcasts, and it just felt back to normal, right, for them in the Chinnaswamy. And again, Dil, when a team's hitting us all over the park, it just seems that no one knows what to do, Dil. And I'm not even angry anymore. I'm just like, what, guys? Come on, do something different. Surprise me, right? And it just seems like every bowler does the same thing. And Vyshak, I'm not going to criticize him. It's his
Yeah.
second game.
Yeah.
Understandable. He's the only guy let off the hook today because I feel his second game, it's very tough.
Only him?
Against
Are you sure only him? What about Mohammad Siraj there?
Siraj with the new ball, I thought was brilliant. In the start, and the first 3 overs, first 3, 4 overs, actually it was pretty good for RCB. I think we had Chennai like 24 for 1 or something. And Bill, that was a false hope, wasn't that? At that start, you're like, oh, maybe a small score we can restrict them to or something like that. But then once Chennai started, Bill, it just felt like there was no stopping them, right? It felt
Yeah.
like, honestly, Chennai could have made as much as possible. And at one point, you were almost a bit grateful as an RCB fan that Dhoni didn't come out to bat earlier in the innings because if he got more time, Bill, it probably would have made 270.
Yeah, absolutely, Sheldon. At one point, I was like, please, Dhoni, don't come out.
Yeah,
Don't come
exactly.
out because his stats here at the Chinnaswamy is absolutely berserk. It's one of the all-time best, right? We all know that. But just
Yeah.
Devin Conway and Shivam Dube, they're smoking around. Just when you think that, Dube, please, yeah, he's going to fall cheaply now. He's just going to sky one and then go out like he did in the other games. No. But RCB, this is the team, guys. If you want to get back to form, they just play RCB. They just allow you to get back to form. Conway getting out cheaply in the last few games, getting starts, everything, but just couldn't capitalize on the starts. But today, gets back to form. Dube, everyone was cursing him in the CSK fan base, right? Everyone were like, man, we need to drop Dube. But no, after this game, everyone's like, wow, I think this guy needs to play more often at this role. Like, kudos to Dhoni for promoting him up the order. The bowling, Sheldon, was just absolutely berserk by RCB. Harshal Patel, I mean, forget about death bowling. This guy shouldn't even bowl now after this match, I think, because he just lost it. And I don't know what's with him and, this relationship with CSK. Every time he faces CSK, I think he loses it all. Right. But yeah, I won't be harsh on Vyshak and Mohammad Siraj, I thought was absolutely brilliant in a game that everyone was going for 48 runs and 62 runs and all that. Mohammad Siraj's figures were actually 1 for 30 in 4 overs. And that too, he got whacked only in his last over.
Yeah.
He got whacked only in his last over. So that was some brilliant top class bowling there for Mohammad Siraj, guys. And in the end, I thought it was just an awful performance there by the bowlers for RCB, which I think in the end cost them the match, right?
Yeah, Dylan, you mentioned Harshal Patel, Dylan. And what frustrates me is on commentary, they keep saying he's our death over specialist. He's RCB's death over specialist, Dylan. Like, he bowled 2 beamers and got kicked out in his last over. They didn't allow him to complete his over. And Dylan, he's been the death over specialist for around 2-3 years now for RCB.
More than that. Yeah.
More than that. And he still seems to not figure it out. And Dill, I get it. It's tough to bowl at the Chinnaswamy, but don't these guys practice there every day? This is RCB's home. And the bowlers, right? Dill, I mean, they practice here every day, right? They practice here every day. I mean, okay, Chennai just came from their home to play this one game, but RCB are here all the time. They've been here now for about 2 weeks in the Chinnaswamy. You'd assume by now the bowlers have some plan, right? But it seems, Dill, honestly, every time they get hit, it seems like they're shocked that someone hit a 6. I mean, what do you expect when you bowl, on the pads and short 5 legs inside the circle? How many times you see them bowl, and then he just hits it, and it's the smallest ground in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, which batsman wouldn't hit it? And then you mentioned Dube as well, right? And how now he'll get so much praise.
Yeah.
Like, my God, RCB should be ashamed. If you get hit by Shivam Dube, no disrespect to get to Shivam Dube, then I'm sorry, the bowlers got to rethink their careers, man, because my God, some awful bowling though.
Yeah, Sheldon, actually, I honestly think that it's not when they get hit for a 6, it's the way that they get hit for a 6.
Yeah.
I feel it's just the way they get hit for a 6 sometimes, right? Because it's just that the authority and just that sound of the ball just goes through, and then you're like, the batsman's like, take that, man. Like, there you go. 101 meters, boom, another one sends it 98 meters, 80 meters. It's just the way they hit it, and then the look, like, from the crowd, and the reaction also like says it all. So I think that kind of gets them lost somewhere, I feel. But coming to RCB's batting there, I thought the start was not the best. Expected a lot from VK, but I thought it was not his day today. I was just upset, Sheldon. I was just upset. I mean, to get out in that fashion, I thought the pitch was doing a bit there, right? In the first few overs, the pitch was doing a bit there. That's why he couldn't get off.
Yeah, I mean, till that first over swung a bit, right? I think that's the most swung.
Difficult conditions.
I'm sure halftime.
Difficult conditions.
Yeah, exactly. One of the tougher places to bat in the world, Chinnaswamy with the new ball, it zips around. I thought the first 3 overs, Dill, for both sides, swung a lot, tough to get to it. But yeah, that was just unlucky. I mean, on the Chinnaswamy, you can play hundreds of shots, and to get out like that, where it hits his pad and then goes onto the stump, I mean, that's just as unlucky as possible. Wasn't unlucky though, Dill? Lumro. What the hell is Lumro doing, Dill? First of all, they drop a lollipop. So they give him a second chance at the Chinnaswamy. And then you know what? He's like, yeah, you go again. Take one. Oh my God, Dill. 0 of 6. The Chinnaswamy, Dill.
That was literally like 1 over just gifted away there. And Sheldon, sometimes I feel like in run chases like this, the dot balls matter a lot. Yes, you can play out a few there, but in hindsight now, when you look at it, Lumro played there almost 6 balls there. I think five balls or something like that for his duck. And then you're like, man, if he had to at least make 5 runs of 5 balls, that score in the end would have been different. And then you're like, man, the way like Maxwell and Faf the way they played was, I thought, absolutely insane. Just kept giving us hope because the run rate was just going up and they were always up there, right? With that. And in the end, Maxwell, they're finishing off at 76 of 36 balls. That's 76 of 6 overs. And Faf 62 of 33 balls. I mean, brilliant stuff by both these guys. Just kept RCB in the hunt there. But I think you knew, Sheldon, that once both these guys went, it was game over. One of these guys, if they had to play out two more overs there and get some 15, 16 runs in those 2 overs, then you would have thought, yes, RCB had a chance, right?
Yeah, I mean that partnership was unreal. I thought it was some insane hitting from both of them, and
Yeah.
Faf leading from the front, and he was a bit injured as well, and he was struggling. And Faf had all those movie scenes. There was some pictures of him
Ah,
and the whole CSK team around him as
we'll
well. It
come to
was just
that. We'll come to that. We have to come to that.
yeah. And Glenn Maxwell, I mean, when he's hitting the ball like that, there's very few who are like him. I mean, he's just unbelievable. When he's in the mood,
Yeah.
Glenn Maxwell is as good to watch as anyone. He's just so destructive. But yeah, when they got out, and both of them in a similar way as well to the spinner, and then
Yeah.
top edge, and Dhoni took it, and as soon as Dhoni's under it, it's
Yeah.
taken. But yeah, when it came down to the finishers, though, that's one area where RCB look at. You feel Karthik, Shabazz, maybe one of them would have liked to win them the game, though. What do you think about RCB's finishing?
Yeah, I thought Dinesh Karthik had to be there till the end
Yeah,
because you knew that if he was there almost, if he had to play out at least till the 19th over or something like that, or even probably
yeah,
take RCB all the way, that was the only chance because you can't leave it for Shahbaz or you can't leave it for Parnell and all these guys, to go ahead
yeah,
and do it because you just can't. And the impact player also that RCB picks, Suyash Prabhudesai there. I mean, I know this is his first game and, for RCB in a tense chase like that, but man, you wasted like 2, 3 dot balls there, right? I mean, he gave away like almost 4 dot balls in that innings of his. So then again, you see, you put those dot balls into context there, and in the end, that's almost like costing your side 6, 7, 8 runs, right? So that's what I felt that,
yeah,
man, come on, these guys can do better. And it's just okay if the bowling had to be good. And okay, even if you keep that out of the way, once there's a score on the board, there's a score on the board. You got to chase it down. You got to do
yeah,
what there's ever in your control, and you can do that. And we've seen that with Faf and Maxwell, right? They just kept going for
yeah,
it. But in the end, some of the shots I think also played by Karthik and by Shabazz, especially, I was a bit disappointed because we've seen him do this earlier also,
yeah.
Sheldon, right? We've seen him hit some huge sixes there, but just couldn't get going today, man.
Yeah, Dylan, in the death, I think you'd expect them to be able to finish it, especially in the Chinnaswamy, where, against inexperienced seamers as well, Dylan. But I thought Pati Rana as well, Dylan, he was excellent in the death. I
Yeah.
thought he was the best death bowler on show today
Yeah.
from both sides. Those Yorkers he was nailing, Dylan, even his slower balls, he's like a young Malinga, Dylan, with his action as well, with his slingy action. I was really impressed by him, but I do feel, Dylan, RCB against an inexperienced, bowling attack should have been able to finish that off.
Actually, yes, because they had Deshpande, they had Akash Singh or something like that.
Yeah,
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 they
yeah,
had
yeah,
Akash Singh, they had the Pati Rana who's playing his first game over here, and then
yeah,
these guys end up like restricting RCB by 8 runs. But I want to talk about one important thing is the fielding for CSK. Not the
yeah,
best. I know they dropped a few over there in the field, some misfields there that allowed RCB to always inch closer, and you always felt that they were in the hunt there. But this guy called Rahane, I'm not sure if you heard of him, called Rahane.
oh,
Ajinkya Rahane there. I mean, he batted brilliantly also. Some of those sixes he hit was insane, but his fielding, Sharon, I think he literally saved there some 8 to 9 runs there almost in the field. That save on the boundary line, that was going for 6. So that's 5 runs
yeah,
there,
yeah,
right? So,
yeah,
and then some of his other acrobats in the field also. I mean, I thought he was brilliant in the field, Sharon.
yeah. That save, the save for the six was
Yeah,
excellent. That could have won in the game when you look at it in
exactly.
hindsight as well.
Yeah,
That was such a big moment, and even the four he saved as well, Dil, where he dived
exactly.
across to
Yeah.
save it, brilliant. I thought Rehane, he just seems like a new man this season, Dil. He's come out with fresh Rehane. He's hitting it all over the park. He looks like the ideal top three batsman. He's fielding brilliantly as well. Only thing left is for him to come and bowl, Dil. The way Rehane is playing, he literally can do no wrong for Chennai right now.
Yeah, but where does this leave RCB now, Sheldon? Because you thought this was a game that should have been won for them. I mean, yes, after the bowling was so bad, you would have felt that, okay, guys, come on. I don't know what that's going to do to them right now, but CSK are back to winning ways.
Yeah, Dil. I mean, for RCB, you don't really know how to solve these problems
It's
because
just a
they've lost
normal
two
day for
close.
them. It's
Yeah,
just a normal
exactly.
day.
Exactly. I mean, you got to start winning these close games, though, because
Yeah,
if you want to make the playoffs, you got to win these types of games. They've lost to Lucknow in a close game.
yeah,
They've lost to CSK in a close game at home. That to deal two
yeah.
losses at home that
And
could
two
that
close
could
ones.
come back
Yeah,
to haunt them. And
yeah.
I think next up they have Punjab on Thursday. That'll be a massive game because they have to win it. and they have to start winning games in a row, because
Yeah,
winning one game and then losing one doesn't help you in any way.
exactly.
So that's where they have to focus. And I don't know, they have to get the impact player right as well, Dil, because you
Yeah,
can't keep changing it every game like this.
yeah,
I mean, you stick with one. Either you give Prabhu Desai many games in a row, or you give
yeah,
Rawat many games. But you need to
yeah.
back one of them, because today what they asked him to do was quite tough. Come on, Dil. In a chase against CSK to come in and finish the game, only RCB can ask an impact player to come and do something like that. Yeah, yeah, Dil.
Last match, I think last match they asked Anuj Rawat, and I think they got away.
Exactly.
This match
Exactly.
they weren't going to get away with this match, especially with Dhoni and his team there.
Yeah.
Sheldon, but another important thing, talking about impact players here, right? I think RCB are not nailing their impact players there. When you have
Yeah.
Michael freaking Bracewell sitting on the bench there, and you're sending in Prabhu Desai and Shabazz and Parnell and all that to bat. Why can't you swap Parnell for Michael Bracewell, man? Why can't you put him over there? Like, I get
Yeah.
it. Okay, fine. He's not the best when it comes to the ball or something, but this guy can bowl also. He can feel really well, man. I don't understand why he's not playing.
Yeah, Dil, exactly. I thought Michael Basil was dropped a bit too soon. I
Yeah,
feel they probably should have given him more games. I feel they
yeah,
rushed him out of the side. And in fairness, he didn't do much wrong. In the first game, he bowled pretty well. And in the second game, okay, RCB got smashed by KKR. So that's why, but to drop him after that was kind of harsh. And I do feel like now I doubt they'll bring him back, because also they have Hazelwood coming in. And
yeah.
I don't think they'll make those many changes in the foreign department, because Faf, Maxwell, Hasranga, and probably Hazelwood when he comes in. So
Mhm.
for Bracewell, it'll be tough to see him, to come into the side. But yeah, Dil, I feel they've underutilized him, like they underutilized many players over the years, Dil. Right?
That's interesting because in this CSK side itself, you've got Moeen Ali, you've got Faf du Plessis, who now plays for RCB, of course, but he was there before. But yeah, so that's Moeen Ali. You have Dube, and then I think there were a few more guys who used to play for RCB but are now playing for CSK, right? And that just
Yeah.
shows like RCB the kind of decisions they have taken over the years. But Sheldon, another important thing before we go, I just wanted to, bring to light here is MS Dhoni. I think the calmness is what won CSK this game. It's not Conway, it's not Dube, it's not anyone or they bowling. I think it's MS Dhoni's calmness. Because when shit was going all over the roof there at the Chinnaswamy, and when Maxwell and Faf were just smoking it around at the ground there, you just got that sense that Dhoni was just like calm. No reaction whatsoever, just kept always encouraging his bowlers in between the overs. So I think there's something about MS, man, when it comes to these kind of games, right?
He's too calm and too cool, Dil. And really, I think his fielders and his bowlers are really testing his patience, because today four drop catches, Dil, and they've bowled
Yeah,
a lot of no balls as well throughout the
yeah,
tournament. And
yeah,
you can see Dhoni, like, is not the tip. He's like, but I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to somehow
yeah,
manage. But yeah, it feels a bit of inexperience as well in the side. And
yeah,
Dhoni's having to manage that, and he's doing so well, Dil. No matter what's happening, whether bowlers being hit or there are no balls, or, whatever's happening, Dhoni is so calm. And even the
yeah,
catches, the way he just puts his lid up a bit, and oh, it's simple. I'm
yeah,
going to take it. And he's still one of the great captains still, and
yeah.
he's even batting as well as he ever has. I feel so. Yeah, Dhoni's just he's still so awesome still.
Yeah, but I think the highlight of the game, Sheldon, is not Conway, it's not Dube, it's not the bowling, it's Faf's abs. Man, even as a guy there, I paused whatever I was doing and I was like, what the hell is that? I mean, he's a machine, Sheldon. Those washboard abs they are face, and he knew he's on camera, and you could see the crowd, everyone going like mental, and especially all the girls there in the crowd. You for sure, he knows he's on the screen there. Just lifts up
Yeah.
his shirt. I mean, I'm not going to lift up mine because of course not, but just
Yeah.
does that there and see those washboard abs. He just gets some treatment done and he knows like he's flexing his arms there, gets his arm down, puts his helmet back to basics, right? I mean, that was super cool. I mean, RCB knows how to entertain. They're an entertainment team first, then they are a cricket team. Right, Sheldon?
Yeah, the entertainment value all around. Even with their pitches, they make it for everyone. Who wants to come and play? Bowlers, batsmen. Who wants to score 50? Come here, nice pitch against our bowlers. Has to be just entertainment all around. But Dil, as a neutral, I'm sure there were neutrals who watched, unlike us, Dil, today. They would have
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed this, because I
Yeah.
feel whether RCB are winning or losing, these games have been thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's probably great for the viewers as well. And today, another thriller, Dil. Maybe not, a 1 run or a 2 run, but it was still a pretty close game for most
Yeah,
part.
absolutely. It was a pretty close game there for everyone, and a pretty close game, for RCB. And in the end, it's just back to RCB things there that they do. But thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel there if you enjoyed the video and the content that we are putting out, so that it reaches as many people as possible. And we really appreciate all the love and the support that we're getting throughout all our videos, guys. A big thank you to all our viewers. Continue to do so, and we'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.